Hey, what's going on? Welcome
What's
to
up? What's up?
week
What's up?
10 PVG Podcast. Dr. Greek, Persian Pinocchio here. A big trade was made this week, and Arash acquired Justin Fields. And now
Yeah.
he's got Josh Allen and Justin Fields on his team. So he's got to make a decision as to why he thinks he's going to go with Justin Fields over Josh Allen this week.
Yeah, because Josh Allen's gonna play. I'm not sure what we're gonna get from him if he plays, like get hurt during the game, like it re-injure his arm on the during the game. And if the choice was a healthy Josh Allen and a healthy Justin Fields, then that the choice a little bit easier. But
Hmm.
just because he's hurt is and Justin Fields is playing so good and he's got such a good matchup. I felt
Yeah.
like I needed to make a move just in case. Our league is so important to have a good quarterback with the point
Hmm.
system that we have, like them scoring like 50, 60 points sometimes. And Justin Fields last week in our point system, he scored 62 points. So it's like,
Yeah.
I had to give up Austin Eckler, like my best player, and Amon Ra. I got back Justin Fields and the two Jets running back depth because I got both the Jets running backs, and it's like
Hmm.
I was kind of having trouble like with the last flex spot that we had, having to
Yeah.
play a second tight end and stuff like that. So I wasn't really getting that much production from that spot anyway. So it seemed like the right move to make. Josh Allen might have to get Tommy John surgery and
Yeah.
all this crazy stuff like that. So it was I'm in first place, but
Yeah,
there's
you wanted to keep it. You wanted to give yourself a backup plan. No, and
yeah.
it's understandable. And Justin Fields looks like he's like the hottest QB right now, based on last couple of weeks, and then last week he exploded.
And I got you and Aaron like hot on my heels, like
I'm
so it's
coming.
like
I'm coming.
you have more points than me, but I have one more win than you.
It's gonna look like a genius move. I think Justin Fields is gonna go off this week, and you're gonna feel good about it. So.
No.
I think you're going to maintain the win there, and plus you're really good on the wire anyway about picking up players. So
I've been
no
told
matter
I have
what,
high basketball IQ.
you'll make it through. Getting into the game, actually, let's get into the fields. The Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. I do think that the Chicago Bears have a good chance of winning their game. Against the Detroit Lions. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I do like the Bears to win the game. And I think Fields is going to have a really good game. So I think you're going to be happy.
Hoping for a 50 burger.
Yeah, right. And then so on the other side of that trade, well, you didn't actually trade him, but the other guy that you would consider obviously is Josh Allen, who we love, and you've basically he's been the leading point getter in fantasy essentially for the year. But he's got this elbow issue, and now we don't really know. They're saying it's nerve damage, it's elbow strain. There's a lot of conflicting reports. So
Yeah.
he's gonna play, but yeah, I don't know, how well he's gonna do. And
The last throw of the game after he got hurt, that was like 70 yards in the air. It seemed like to Gabriel Davis right on the money, and that should have been PI, against Sauce Gardner. He still made that throw where Gabriel Davis should have caught the ball. Actually, even with the PI, he still had a chance to catch the
yeah,
ball.
dude, that
And
was a PI though. He held his arm. He should have
yeah,
caught that ball. I
he
mean, he
should.
would have.
He still could have caught it with
Yeah,
even with the PI. He
it
had
hit him
two
like
hands.
right in the chest. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
it was like right
And
there.
that's after the injury. So, I think he'll be okay. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'd rather play Fields against the Lions and exploit that matchup, and instead of worrying about, well, is Josh Allen going to be even to be able to play or throw, or how long he's going to play. I still think, I think Minnesota has a good chance of winning this game actually. They've been playing well, and
And
they've got all their weapons. So
one thing I want to mention is that like just because some players get you to the playoffs doesn't mean that they're gonna get you to the championship. And
mhm.
and that's my experience in fantasy football. Like
Yeah.
I that's why I'm so aggressive on the waiver wire because like especially playoff time, like
It's fluid.
just because the players got you there doesn't mean you should stick with them
Yeah.
during the
Yeah. I think we're
playoffs.
both aggressive when it comes to picking up players. Like I'm always trying to make a move. Like I'm always trying to get like that last spot on my bench to be like the best player, like
Yeah,
no matter what. Like I'm never, there's always constant movement for me too. And you do the same thing. And I think that's one key to why we're successful in fantasy
yeah,
football is that there's always a move to be made. We're never waiting. We're never reactive. We're always the ones that are initiating the
yeah.
moves. So yeah. So moving on, let's talk a little bit about your Raiders. It's looking not so hot for those poor guys, but I do think they should get the win this week against the Colts because they're definitely tanking for Tua right now, or whoever they're tanking for, right? So because I mean they hired Jeff Saturday. I mean they benched their starting QB for like a guy who's not even good, is not going to be the QB. It's just a hot mess. So I do think the Raiders are less of a hot mess.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Like,
Hmm.
um, I think the Raiders. I think the powers that be on the Raiders didn't like how Derek Carr is like trying to throw them under the bus and being all cryptic. Like, I have a lot to say, but I'm not gonna say it right now because I think Derek Carr sees the writing on the wall that shipping him out, he's not gonna go down without trying to take the ship down and get Josh McDaniels fired. And I didn't know Josh McDaniels' record without Tom Brady was so bad.
It's terrible.
It's
He
like,
was a terrible head coach. He was when he had his stint before, and he's just not a good head coach. He really
and
isn't. He's got to
and
be behind Belichick. He's got to be that OC guy. He can't take on the responsibility. Kind of the same things about Shanahan that we don't like about his, like sometimes his mistakes as a head coach. Like where he's not thinking about everything. He's just only, he's so focused on the offense. He's not thinking about the game, the managing the game and the timeouts and situation and down and distance and all these things that the head coach needs to be thinking about throughout the game. So, yeah, I honestly I do see the Raiders winning this game. I don't, the Colts they're not a good team, and I know the Raiders have too much talent to like not win this game. And hopefully,
that's
uh,
exactly what
they do.
I thought we said last week. I know,
Right?
no. Last week we both
Yeah,
picked Jacksonville, but I mean, I think the week before that
I did.
we both said the same thing about the Raiders beating New Orleans and they got shut out. And
That
there's
was that was more of a surprise. And then I think, having said that, like last week, we're like, okay, I called Jacksonville winning that game.
yeah, I think
But
I agree with you on that. And
yeah, but this week I think the Raiders will get back in the win column. So we'll
okay,
hopefully we'll you'll be celebrating on Sunday.
I don't know if I want. I don't even know if I want them to win at this point. It's
Yeah,
like if you're gonna
I
be
know.
bad,
It's
be the
kind of
worst.
it's already kind of gone off the rails, right? So
Yeah,
but I do see them winning this game. Sunday night
yeah.
game, we got the 49ers and the LA Chargers. We got Brandon Staley, the goof, versus the analytic. Like guys, his decision making. I mean, just looking at his face when he talks to, it's like, dude, I just can't take this guy. I can't take him seriously. And then we got Shanahan. He has his share of mistakes, like we've mentioned. But I'm excited for the Niners. I'm excited because I think their offense is like on the verge of just like breaking out and putting up like 50 points, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be McCaffrey running the ball. I mean, the Chargers have a really poor run defense. They don't have Bosa. Yes, they've got Khalil Mack, but I think Niners, Jimmy's going to do his quick throws. They're going to give those guys as yaks, and those big plays are going to come between Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and McCaffrey, and I can see this being a high scoring game. from the Niners perspective, and the Niners defense is getting healthy. So, the Chargers will put up points, but I would say probably with Allen and Mike Williams out, it's going to be hard for them to have for Eckler to shoulder all the load because the Niners are really good against the run and running back. So they're going to have a little bit of trouble scoring points. So I can see it being a two touchdown win for the 49ers this Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big win. Justin Herbert hasn't been the same quarterback since he hurt his ribs.
Yeah.
It, he's droppable in fantasy football. I'm gonna say it. Like
Yeah.
he's not the guy you drafted like so high, like in the fourth or fifth round. I
And
mean,
what he was last year, right? I mean, he was
yeah,
like either one or two, right? I mean, I think it was
yeah,
two. I think it was Allen and then him, so
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. I mean, clearly, broken rib is going to affect you. It's going to affect your confidence too. You don't want to get hit in that area because it's painful, so there's a lot of factors that go into it, and probably him being able to even throw the ball the right way, or his mechanics are probably thrown off a little bit by it too. So
yeah,
I think it's tough for them, and they're in the division with the Chiefs, and Chiefs are going to run away with it. It looks like I think they're going to get a win this week against Jacksonville, and that's like that game's not going to be close in my opinion either. I think
no.
Mahomes is going to go off, and
I'm streaming Trevor Lawrence just for the garbage points.
yeah, you're going to get those garbage time points, right? Him just throwing little passes out to ETN all game, right? So I'm going to do that stack.
Yeah.
I think who else I would think is going to have a big game is Saquon Barkley against Houston this week. I think
Okay.
it's going to be a big Saquon game. I really like him in like a daily fantasy. I think if I were building the perfect team, it'd be Justin Fields at quarterback. I think he's going to have a lot of points again, and then because he's a little bit cheaper than the bigger guys like Mahomes and Allen and Barkley and Devontae Adams at receiver. If you're gonna
Yeah.
pay up for a receiver, I think Renfro's out, Waller's out again. I mean, who they got to throw to? They're gonna throw to Adams. He's gonna throw like 15, 16 times to Adams, and they're gonna run the
And
ball with Josh Jacobs.
Matt Collins is gonna get like 5 receptions.
Yeah, right. He's the one that's gonna break it. He's gonna have like another couple of touchdowns. Week 10 in the books. Because early game, we got to get up for the Buccaneers and
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks, Germany, the
Yeah.
Germans. So that should be interesting. We'll see what happens. I think Tom Brady is trying to turn the season around, right? He's got to make up all those losses in FTX.
Yeah.
But I think Buccaneers can win that game, right? It should, but it's going to be in Germany. We'll see how that looks. So